A lot of endeavors in life don't really rely on like intelligence or skills or practice. They actually just rely on sort of pure grit and the willingness to stick through something no matter how difficult it gets. You can think of it kind of like Navy SEAL training to weed out people. And really, recruiters and trainers will tell you that you can't predict in advance who will pass and who will fail. Sometimes the scrawniest, weakest looking guys will succeed, and the strongest, most grizzled veterans will fail. And it's because it's primarily psychological, all about breaking you down and trying to get you to give up in as many different ways as they can try. So, really, the more resilient you are to enduring different kinds of challenges and sticking through something, the better you will be at succeeding when it comes to these kinds of challenges. And I think we can extrapolate this to basically anything in life, right? Like, I think part of why jobs value a college degree is not because of what the degree teaches you, because you're going to learn on the workplace just fine anyway. I think it's more because of what that represents in terms of your ability to endure an uncomfortable, stressful, difficult situation for a long period of time, 3, 4 years. And ultimately, this means that the more you focus on the skill of grit and building that, right? Like David Goggins, his training, a lot of it was centered around ultramarathon running to build that kind of mental toughness, or as he calls it, sort of callousing the mind, right? Like he does something that sucks every day, he leans into the discomfort and the suffering so that he can come out stronger. You'll come out ahead of people who may only focus on the sort of skills, the intelligence, the knowledge, but they skip out on the grit. And so all of that knowledge is wasted because when push comes to shove, they quit and they give up. While people who are much less skilled, much less smarter, succeed because they continue. And I think this is especially true of entrepreneurship because, in a way, entrepreneurship is just about figuring out what you need to do and doing it no matter how uncomfortable it is. And a lot of the things are uncomfortable, whether it's cold calling people, um, putting up flyers, doing direct mail, like whatever it might be, some uncomfortable form of advertising, sales calls, sales meetings, asking for funding. Basically, you have to eat a lot of rejection as an entrepreneur. And yet, I think the ones who succeed are the ones who can go through all of that and continue to do what needs to be done. Whereas I think there are a lot of smart people for whom you could give them the checklist to succeed at making a business, but they would fail because they can't do what's on that checklist because it's uncomfortable and they don't know how to get through that discomfort. And in a way, your intellect can actually work against you simply because, like, the smarter you are, the easier it is for you to rationalize why something is beneath you or why you should find a better way to do it or why it isn't fair, why you deserve better, and so on. Whereas I think if you just deploy pure, pure like violent effort, you'll have a much higher success rate. So really, I think the thing worth reflecting upon is what are the things in life, what are the situations in life where you can practice the skill so that when the time comes, you're able to deploy it effectively and really, really succeed. Where people who are smarter than you, more accomplished than you, will not succeed.